16. Liam Hemsworth.
Hey, this fellow on the radio just mentioned that he said something in jest as a joke. He said he'd like to travel the world and get himself one of those Transformer cars like on the movie. Well, let me tell you about this car. It had quite low mileage, like 140,000, 150,000 cuts when I got it. And it's a Prius. It doesn't matter what model car it is. Well, it does. It does matter what model car it is. It's a Prius 04 20 series, 2.0 series. And I've owned about 10 of them. And in the time that I've had 10 of them, and I've spoken to lots of other people that had the same car from about, I think they're 03 to 09 year, series 2.0. And I've rebuilt about 10 of them and really enjoyed learning about them. And this one's a keeper, let me tell you why. Turn that radio down a bit more. So the later model series have Bluetooth. From 07 they came out with a Bluetooth connection and maps and whatnot, but my 14-inch screen Samsung, it's a cheaper model, covers the maps and screen. But more than that, let me tell you what happened. Every car I've ever owned, I've always filled up the petrol to the top of the spout. You can see the petrol, that it's full. Done the kilometres and filled up at the same pump, quite pedantically, not quite OCD, because you can blend your OCD with being a technical freak. So I did the mileage on every one of them that I ever owned, and experimented with the batteries, experimented with lubricants and stuff, and so Maury's lubricant is the ultimate, a bottle in every oil change, and instead of an oil change every 10,000, you can do an oil change every 12,000. I've done an oil change on cars, some cars at every 15,000, and the oil is still fantastic. I've then used the oil in the mower and stuff like that, after a Maury's additive and a good oil. So anyway, it's not that I want to tell you about. It's something a hell of a lot more exciting, to do with the Transformers cars, because I'll tell you now, I've got one. This is one. Let me tell you about it. I've had about 10 cars, as I said, done the fuel, and I've gotten to know that there's a 40-litre tank in the Australian model 2.0 series, 20 series, and you don't get a variation of tank size until you go to America or something like this, and this car was born in Australia. And let me tell you, I did probably 3 or 4 tankfuls of juice in this car, 40 litres, before the Transformer showed itself. Let me put it that way. So you got a fairly thick hose that delivers to the tank, and there is some breathing space. You get about 40, almost 43 litres into one of these, when we're talking about the volume of the hose, and we're talking about breathing space of the tank, all the way to the spout. We're talking 43 litres. And do your mileage and divide it by 43 litres, or however much you put in when you've done your drive, and refill it. So that's an accurate fuel economy, especially when you do, say, 5 tankfuls of juice and add them all up. and keep your driving of average. With the air conditioning, 5 tankfuls. Without the air conditioning, 5 tankfuls. And there is a difference. It's about 10%, 12%, 15% on really hot days, and etc. And even better fuel economy when you're driving in the rain for 3 or 4 days. It cools the condenser of the air conditioner. Yeah. So, anyways, and the radiator, of course. Not that matters, because you've got a mechanical thermostat or electronic thermostat in these cars. A mechanical thermostat in these cars and electronic monitoring, digital monitoring. So this car absolutely positively had a 40 litre tank. I drove it. Now, when you drive all of these 20 series Prius, lots of guys will tell you who own them, you'll get about 240 Ks, 250 Ks before the gauge will start dropping down. It'll stay full every bar, there's 10 of them, until you've done 240, 250 Ks, and then a bar will start dropping off. It'll drop off at that. God knows why, but there's about 40 Ks to each bar, and you've got about 40 Ks left in the reserve when the last bar starts flashing. It goes beep and starts flashing. Anyone who owns one of these, they've been around for a while, lots of taxis were the 20 series, will tell you the same thing. All of them you speak to tell you the same statistics. You know, the people who are fuel misers and interested folk and etc. who are fans of the 20 series. So I'm going to get to it, the transformer. This is what happened. I had somebody in the car with me, and I had done 998 kilometres when I had done 990 kilometres when the last bar started flashing, and I wasn't allowed to. The passenger was in a bit of a panic. Always refuels at half a tank, and insisted that I go to a service station. I pulled into the servo probably 15 Ks later, and put 41 litres in, and that was to the top, which means I had 2 litres left, and 41 litres in, and 998 kilometres, let's say 1,000 kilometres to 41 litres. So that time, it was flashing and etc., and I put in 41 litres. So I was laying on the couch one day, as I do sometimes, and something amazing, a voice spoke to me with a strong connection, and the voice said to me, "Go to the BP at Logan Home." It showed me which service station, and fuel up. I don't normally fuel up at BP. I'm a bit of a miser. Wouldn't say that I was a Jew, but I'm a bit of a miser, and I like to get good cheap fuel. Don't believe any of those vicious rumours they spread around that this petrol station has got bad fuel or anything like that. Don't believe any of that crap. I've fueled up at all of them over the last, ever since I've had a license, and they're not any different. There was one particular thing that happened to somebody I knew, but maybe, just maybe, it was the fault of the driver. I think right now I'm realising that it actually was the fault of the driver, and anyway, the petrol station, the person who was driving said that the petrol station had put the wrong fuel into the tank in the ground, and somebody else said that they offered to pay for a rebuild of the motor, but I think it was more the driver's fault. I don't know. It's one of those mysteries for me, with such an inquisitive mind. Human error, could have been involved, etc. Not a mechanically minded person who was driving it. There I was laying on the couch. They told me to go over to BP, Logan Home. I did, and when I fueled up, there was 2 bars. There were 2 strong bars, let me say. It only just flicked onto the second last bar, and being a miser, I was taking notice, and so I went over there, fueled up, and I put 48 litres into the tank. And with 2 bars, there should have been at least 8 litres left in the tank. Yeah, 8 litres left in the tank. 6 litres left in the tank. Anyway, somewhere around about that. I know how far 2 bars has got left to go. And so what happened was, I went in, and the lady said to me, the first time in my entire life I ever complained. I think I complained one other time about a meal, but this time I complained. The lady said to me, how's your day going? And I said, well, actually, not too good. I just came in here and I had 2 bars left, which should indicate about 8 litres of a 40 litre tank, with 3 litres in the spout and breathing space. I just put 48 litres in the tank, and there's got to be something wrong with your pumps. I'm not going to dispute it. I'm going to pay it, but I'm just saying. And she said, well, we had that pump calibrated last week. And I said, well, I'm telling you, I know Prius. I've rebuilt about 10 of them. They all had 40 litre tanks. You can't get a bigger tank in Australia. And so, well, I wasn't hot-headed. I was just point of fact. And I did put it across fairly sternly, my point of view. And I thought maybe somebody had hacked the digital electronic display, believe it or not. That's what my mind thought. And anyway, she gave me a card that suggested for complaints. I gave her the card back and said, I know how much my tank it takes, and I'd already finished paying, and I was off on my way. And as I drove down the road, I could feel the weight in the car. I definitely had at least 48 litres, if not more, in the car. I could feel the rear end was different. So I ran the fuel. I went for a drive. I just wanted to get rid of this fuel and find out how many Ks I was going. I figured if somehow this was a transformer car, it suddenly had 53 litre tank to fill to the brim, 50 litre tank and 3 litres in breathing space. I couldn't figure it out. But I'm telling you right now, an overnight change happened in this car, from 40 litre tank to a 50 litre tank. It now holds 53 litres, but for some strange reason, it doesn't do 1,200 Ks. And when I crunched the numbers, the numbers crunched at 41 litres, 1,000 kilometres, to somewhere around about 25 Ks per litre, and these cars don't get that. That's what started my thoughts, my impressive thoughts about this particular Prius. It got 25 Ks a litre, and that's only what the new Toyota Corolla hybrid, the Toyota Corolla hybrid gets. These get 21 at the absolute very max. So I was super duper impressed, and so hold on to your hats, folks. Let's see what else happens to this car. I'm an ordained minister, and I'm only going to make a fool of myself if I'm lying. Come check it out yourself. This car's got a 50 litre tank, and it happened overnight. Take the number plate, and it's LLE 455, and check out the manufacturer's specifications when this car was built. You guys with all the computers and and apps, etc., can do that. Anyway, have a great day, folks. Another exciting story. I'm just going to pull in here and and I'm going to turn it off. The magic button. No, the magic button's not doing it. Here we go. I'll pull up in a second in the car park, remove my keys and put them on the dash, and turn this phone off. Straight into the car park. Always take it easy in the car park, folks, and take it easy when you're reversing out. A lovely lady friend of mine from church had a friend who lost her mum when somebody reversed over her mum coming out of the driveway with her little dog. She lost her mum. It's just a horrible thing. So it happens a lot with kids as well. So get in the habit, like truckies do. A truckie taught me to walk around, and I used to, with the truck, walk around the truck, do a 360 degree before you jump in, and take it easy whenever you're reversing. So have a great day, folks. That's it for the Transformer car.